Kill them bumbuckler. Anyway,
Hey yo, how that nigga Tupac used to say it? Yeah, yeah.
rapping 24/7. Every day I'm on top of my game. Whoa, every day I'm on top of my game.
Hey everybody, it's Sean V. Bradley, and it is Monday again. I know it's crazy. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and here it goes again. Here comes Monday. What are you doing to make that money? Let's think about it. Did I do everything I could possibly do to be successful this week? Did I take every up? Did I make every phone call? Did I chase every B back? Did I have my mind right, my game right? Did I get everything right? It's either yes or no. You know, I joke around and I say this, you're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. You're not half pregnant. So you're either were successful or you weren't successful. So let's see what we can focus on for this Monday. Folks, first, take a deep breath and just realize today's Monday. You are in control of how the rest of the week goes. You know what I mean? Tuesday's not here yet. Neither is Thursday or Saturday for that matter. Okay, so you have complete control on what the rest of the week looks like. Now, what are we going to focus on today? Well, today is going to be a special day. I'm very fond of saying the phrase, be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. Think about that. That's deep. That's some Yoda stuff right there. Be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. What does that mean? That means that this, on a positive level, that everybody's got these great ideas. Oops, come here, I got a great idea. Hey, did you hear that over there? Hey, what about that? Hey, what about that? It's ADD hell. Folks, if you know Sean Bradley, you know that I have a little ADD, but it works for me because I know how to put it back in check. If you don't know how to check that ADD, distractions could cripple you. Okay, you don't want to be chasing every shiny little object and every little thing that goes that way. You need to focus on what is important. And if making money is important, focus on making that money. So again, you cannot get distracted by what other people are saying. Good, bad, different, funny, stupid. Again, if you are a salesperson or you're an internet manager or if you're the GM, I don't really care. You don't want to be throughout the day and have somebody send you like jokes on your phone or through your email. The Badger commercials. It's funny, when I walk into dealerships, everybody knows about these Badger commercials. Ming Blue, and all that other crazy stuff. What are you even doing messing with that stupid stuff, man? You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to make money. I ain't trying to hear that stupid noise. That's a waste of time. Covey says that's quadrant 4. That's meaningless, mindless, stupid waste of time. That ain't going to make you any money. Think about that. Whenever somebody turns around and talks to you about all the crazy negative stuff that's going on in the world, all how Obama got reelected, so what? I mean, about the war, about the swine flu. I know there isn't, that's an old story, but my point being is like everybody's worried about the swine flu, the Mayans and stuff, the end of the world. I mean, everybody's trying to, focus about other things except for making money. You know what I mean? It's simple. Somebody starts talking to you, he's about making money, bro? No? Okay, then step to the left. I'm trying to make money right now. Well, that's it. You got to control the conversations. Now, again, be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. From the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Dr. Covey says, put first things first. Prioritize your day. Here's something that's a novel concept. Don't just show up to work. Okay, I'm here. Okay, hello, I'm here. I'm here. How stupid does that sound? You know what's even stupider? That you sit there at your desk and you got nothing to do. You're like, shuffle your desk, you open your drawer up, you turn around, look around, there's no upstairs. Look over that way, there's no upstairs. Look down there, no ups down there, they're not there. You cannot just wing it. Folks, unfortunately, this industry is about people who like to wing things. Wings. Don't wing things. Have a plan. Be methodically focused the second you walk into the dealership. You should have a plan from the second you walk into the dealership to the second that you leave. Now, whether you're working an 8-hour day or you're working bell to bells, you should be extremely productive every single day. Now, I'm going to ask some rhetorical questions because video cannot respond back to me. So here's a question. Do you have a plan for your day today? Today being Monday. Do you have a plan for your day? Is your whole entire day filled out, or do you kind of have an idea of what you got to do? I get it. You're busy. We're all busy. But do you have a methodical plan what you're going to do today? How about tomorrow? How about on Wednesday? How about Thursday, Friday, and what about Saturday? What exactly do you need to do? Well, let's just break this down. What are the things that a sales consultant needs to do? Well, You need to turn around and walk your used car lot. You need to turn around and view your inventory. Well, what are you going to do when you walk your used car lot? You're not just looking for new used car vehicles that just happen to show up magically at your dealership. You want to really get to know these vehicles, especially if you were a Ford dealership and you got a Toyota in. Your Toyota is not your core competency. So you want to try to learn the additional features, the additional options, and specifically the conditions. As we all know, a used car is like a snowflake. There's no two that are alike with the same mileage, the same condition, the same story. Maybe this one happened to be owned by a senior citizen. Maybe this one right here, was owned by a non-smoker. Maybe that one right there was bought here and serviced here, and that vehicle's a diamond. So it is absolutely imperative that you walk your used car lot, right? It is also important that you understand what the manufacturer incentives and rebates are. It is important to understand what your dealership's incentives are. Hey, do you know what is the most aged unit on your floor plan, new and used? Maybe there's bonuses or spiffs that are on that type of vehicle. You need to find out. Are there any special sales that are going on in your dealership that are internal or regional or OEM? You should also be, under the watchful eye of what your competitors are doing. What are their sales? What are their specials? What's their value package? Okay, what about product knowledge? Maybe you need to learn more about your products. Not just that, it's got this, and this, but how do they compare against the competition? I mentioned before, if you're a Ford dealership, how does that F-150 compare against a Ram 1500 or a Silverado? Why is the F-150 a better choice? Do you have that knowledge in your head it's like as smooth as water that's being poured? Can you articulate that? Can you convey that? If not, you need to be working on that. What about your B-backs? What about people that came in your dealership on Saturday? It's Monday, folks, so unless your dealership's open on Sunday, some of you aren't. What are we doing about those people that came in? Do we have a plan to get them back in? Why didn't they buy a car? Okay, what can we do to get them back in? Hence the word be back. We want to get them to be back in the dealership. Okay, now what about any fresh customers you're going to come in today? Is your mind straight? Is your mind right and focused on how you're going to engage these people? Now, besides be-backs and fresh ups for today on Monday, what other ways can you turn around and you sell an automobile? Do you have a plan to engage your service department, your service drive, service conversions, people that are waiting in the service department for an oil change or what have you? Maybe you want to explain to them about all the awesome new products and opportunities that are there. How about that? What about your referral network? Have you been working your agents? Have you been working your referrals? I don't know whether they're stores, they're gas stations, they're body shops, they're friends and acquaintances. Have you created a list of people that you could hit or contact, and kind of work for referrals and opportunities? What about prior customers? How many cars have you sold last month, the month before, the year before, 3 years, 5 years, 10, 20 years ago? Well, Sean, I just got into the business 2 days ago. Okay, there's something called orphan owners. Orphan owners are people, that belong to other salespeople that no longer work in your organization. What do I mean by that? Okay, unfortunately, there's turnover in car dealerships. So let's say there was 1, 2, 5, or more people that worked at your dealership, but for whatever reason, they no longer work there. What happened to those customers? Those belong to somebody. If they're not working there anymore, it doesn't matter. They're still the dealership's customers. They're called orphan owners. Go to your general manager, your general sales manager, say, hey, who can I call? Who can I try to get back into the dealership? Okay, so we got about that. What about prospecting? What are you doing to market and advertise yourself? Are you working social media? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on YouTube? Are you on Pinterest? And there's also other social networks that are demographic or different niche categories. For example, one of the top African-American social networks is blackplanet.com. They've got websites like that for females, for Asians, for, religious, like Catholics, for Jewish people. I mean, and this is not a bad thing at all. Shakespeare said, I think, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. People tend to group up and click up. Are you on those social networks? Are you on the places where people are conversing? How about auto blogs? How about enthusiast blogs? Are you at a Honda dealership And you know, gosh, are you seeing Fast and the Furious? What about tuner cars and stuff like that? The Civics, you know, the Nissan 350Zs, you know, etc. You know, are you on those sites that are talking about rims and spoilers and all this stuff? Are you right there blogging and posting and uploading videos and commenting and doing that stuff? Why not? What about credit? Over 50% of people in this country have less than perfect credit. Are you on bad credit, no credit blogs and giving advice? Are you becoming a subject matter, you know, author? Are you ghostwriting for these blogs? Are you networking on these blogs, these virtual? I mean, think about it. You don't have to go. Back when I was selling cars 14 years ago, I was part of the Chamber of Commerce. I used to do business development and cross-promotional marketing. I used to have to go physically to different businesses. I mean, you can sit there in your boxers at night if you want, or on your iPhone when you're in the throne. Yeah, I said it. So what? You know what I mean? You could time manage people. I mean, but you got to know what you're doing. There's always ways that you can network. Are you engaging all those things? So we talked about referrals. We talked about prospecting. We talked about service. Are you taking every single phone up possible? You know, seriously, it's like you ever watch Jeopardy? Bam! You know, bam! You hit the buzzer. Are you like waiting for that phone up to be like, bam, hello? Thank you for calling ABC Motors. This is Sean speaking. Call about one of our sales. If not, why not? Oh, because there's a BDC. What are you doing to engage and work in that BDC? I'd be like this. You ever see the little dogs like Fido and stuff? Hey, boss. Hey, boss. Hey, boss. Hey, 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 hey. Can I get it up? You know what I mean? I would do whatever I had to do to work in that BDC. I would do whatever I had to do to support that BDC. And it's not always about, you know, quo pro. You know, you can't do that. You can't just expect to get bones and deals and all that other stuff. Be altruistic. You don't know what altruistic is? Break out your dictionary or go to dictionary.com. It's a great word. I ain't going to tell you the definition. Look it up. Altruism. Okay? Reach out proactively to your internet or BDC or your GM. Say, listen, I just want to help you. Is there anything I can do to help make your life easier in that BDC, in that internet department? Phone calls. Hey, you need a TO? I'm here. Here's my cell phone. Here's my instant messages, my Instagram, whatever. You need a TO? I got you. You need me to turn around and look at inventory or search something out? Hey, how about that? Oh my God. Salespeople from what I see, run. They run from the BDC. They run from a TO. They run from this. They run from that. You know, it's crazy. Be proactive. Education. What are you doing to time management your education? Are you researching? Are you reading? Are you studying? Are you doing this stuff? Do you have a set time of the week that you're going to read? How about this? I got a great idea. Talk about time management. I know personally people, you ready for this? That drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour and a half to get to work each way. Some people even take public transportation. Let's talk about that for a split second. Do you find yourself in excess time just to get to and from your dealership or to and from work? If that's the case, what are you going to do? You're going to be listening to, you know, the radio, bebopping and stuff like that, broke? Or are you going to maximize your time? Shoot. You know what I would do? I would pop in an audio CD. I would pop in a audio CD, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Secret from Rhonda Byrne, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Those are the books that I've mentioned so far. Drop in an audio CD and learn and listen. Or, you know what you could do? You could turn around and you could record your phone calls. You know that? I'm sure most of you have call monitoring at your dealerships, like a Who's Calling, Callbright, CallSource, whatever, Know Me. I mean, any one of those tools, you could download the MP3s. Or if you don't have one of those tools, you could use your iPhone or you could use one of your Androids and record some of your phone calls, good, bad, and ugly. Put it on a damn CD and listen to it. It will motivate and inspire you. On the way to work, listen to real sales phone calls. Listen to what you did right. Listen to what you did wrong and stupid and just, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. Listen to it. Learn from it. How about objections and rebuttals? Do you have everything locked down? How about recording to your iPhone or spend 20 bucks and go to Radio Shack and get one of those old school little tape recorder things if you got to? I don't really care how you do it. Shit, I don't care if you have a little parrot that's sitting there with objections and rebuttals right next to you, but study them, practice them, think about it. Price, availability, convenience, I hate car salesmen, and research are the top 5 reasons why people are going online. Think about when you up somebody on the showroom floor and they turn around and say, I'm just looking. What is your response to those people? If somebody says, I got to think about it, what is your response to those people? If they say, I got to pray about it, what is your response to those people? Oh, I got to talk to my husband or my wife, my spouse. What is your response to those people? Practice. Oh my gosh, you've got a captive audience yourself. You've got yourself captive. Now, are you going to captivate yourself, or are you just going to be held captive? Think about that. So use that time. How about this? If you've got an iPhone, you've got Bluetooth, you got one of those, headpieces from your iPhones, why don't you use that time to and from work to make phone calls? The more people you call, the more people you get on the phone. The more people you get on the phone, the more appointments you make. The more appointments you make, the more people show up. The more people show up, the more people buy cars. So why don't you use that time instead of complaining, beep, beep, traffic, what are you doing? You look silly. Stop stressing about traffic and then the drive and complaining and all that other stuff. Why don't you pick up the phone and call somebody? Why don't you use that time to be more productive? Man, I got to tell you this. I'm on an airplane once a week. Once a week. I own 6, 7, 8 companies. I own 8 companies. I got 3 kids, 1 baby on the way, a crazy little puppy named 7. I got tons of responsibilities. I literally work with hundreds and thousands of dealerships. I write for magazines. I do all this stuff. Man, I have no time to complain about time management issues. I need to manage my time. I need to be productive. And what am I going to do if I get stuck in traffic? I'm a professional. I'm going to turn around and utilize that time to my advantage. I'm going to Aikido. I'm going to use that momentum, that negative momentum against that negativity. And I'm going to turn into a positive, productive environment. Time management. You've got to plan your time. You got to eliminate all distractions, even the ones that are disguised as opportunities. You have to be focused. You have to have a plan. What are you going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? What are you going to do when you're not off of work? Now, I know this is a little longer video than normal, but this is so important. I'm passionate about it. Man, you got to take care of your health. I've seen a lot of people in the car business drop dead of a heart attack. You know why? Because they're shoving their face with crappy food and donuts and all sorts of crap, and fried foods and all this other stuff. Taking time is not just about selling. You can't make money if you're dead. Think about that. I'm not trying to be funny about this one. I'm being serious. You've got to time manage your health. Working out, eating properly, getting the right amount of rest. Being successful is not about just working hard. It's about working hard, but working smart and being consistent. You don't want to turn around and just be exhausted and lethargic and all that stuff. To make money, you got to be on top of your game. You got to be in the best shape of your life. You got to turn around and come with it. You can't do that if you're like, I'm tired. I can't do this. Hi, this is Sean from ABC Motors. Give me a call. You see what I'm saying? It all correlates. You've got to maximize your time. And here's the other thing, emotionally, spiritually. This is all from Covey, the 7th habit. Sharpen your saw. You got to, put that into perspective. There's a difference of just working hard. You got to try to find work-life balance. That's part of time management. With your kids, with your spouses, your partners, your friends, your family, relationships. You have to be emotionally charged. If you're miserable and depressed, you're not going to be able to sell cars and make money because you're going to be miserable and depressed. Does this make sense to you people? Please listen to me. Here's another thing. Some people don't know how to properly time manage. And what does that mean? People think that there's yearly calendars, there's daily calendars. What we found is that the most productive planning is weekly planning. Okay, that's another tip right here. Weekly planning. So what you should do probably Sunday night, or Monday morning is map out your entire week. And think about it. You should turn on and map out all the things that you've got going on. I would turn on and plan out automatically what are your deliveries that are scheduled already for this week. Today's Monday. So what are the deliveries that are scheduled for Monday through Friday? Then if you have certain type of OEM training or any type of workshops, if you're going to go to a 20 group or anything like that, whatever type of training you've got to do. If you want to sprinkle in like your personal training, whether you're going to go on automotiveinternetsales.com or any other blog like that, if you're going to read Auto Success Magazine or anything like that, what you want to be able to do is schedule those times. Then you want to kind of, put time frames that you want to do things in. So let's say from 9 o'clock from 9 o'clock in the morning to maybe 9:15, if there is no sales meeting, maybe I'm going to, walk the lot. Maybe you want to schedule a block of time that you're going to make prospecting calls, be-back calls. You're going to make, you're going to spend some time in the service department. Usually that's better in the morning, maybe like 7:30, 8:30 in the morning, etc. So whatever it is, I don't know your schedule. I don't know what you do at the dealership, but you need to map those things out in a week in advance. But don't pack your schedule. Here's the second tip on this one, okay? You don't want to pack your schedule because things happen. It's a dealership. I mean, it's chaotic. It's crazy. You don't want to turn around and pack your day so tight that when something happens, it throws your whole thing out of whack and it's useless. You just want to be proactive. Now, I'm going to close on this point here. What is the one thing that you can do to dramatically enhance your situation? What is the one thing that you can do to dramatically enhance your situation? You got to think about that. That's part of time management and productivity. Putting first things first. I'm sure there's a million things. There's a million things I could do to improve myself. There's a million things that I could do to be better. There's a million things I could do to be proactive, blah, 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 blah. But what I try to do, what Covey's instilled into me, is what is the one most significant thing that I could work on? And that is the most important thing. That's what we call like a big rock. That's a big thing that we need to focus on. So you need to think about that for you. Put first things first. Be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. Man, and if it's not about making money, and it's not about being productive, building you emotionally, spiritually, relationship-wise, then don't do it. Don't get sucked into the vortex of people's BS, their drama, their negativity. Flick them fleas off of you. Stay focused. This is Sean V. Bradley. Let's make some money, people.